maybe as like a swap deal. I mean, I don't know what Suarez's value is now at 33, but maybe you look at, like you say, Van der Beek and Serginho Dest as another player who's been linked with Barca. You look at these guys who maybe Koeman or Barca would like long term, and maybe they can do some sort of swap.
So how did the club and the fans react to the big news of Ronald Koeman being appointed as the head manager?
I think there's been a mixed reaction. There's an understanding at Barcelona among everyone related to the club, especially among the supporters, that the problem was never the coach. As we've seen, we thought maybe it was Valverde, we thought maybe it was Setien, but the problems at the club are underlying, and they go much deeper than that. They're to do with years of poor decisions, of poor management, of poor running of the club, of an aging squad. So the coach has his hands tied to a certain degree.
Let's see what happens. Yeah, it sounds strange that you signed for 2 years, knowing that in March 2021, after the first game Barca is going to play in their place, in their home, in Camp Nou, after 15 March, there are going to be elections. So maybe a new president arrives with new ideas, with a new coach, let's say, for example, Xavi Hernandez, who leaves Qatar and returned to Spain to Football Club Barcelona. But I guess Ronald Koeman have confidence in himself, in his way of working, and maybe he thinks that if he do things properly and especially well, and Barca, for example, let's say wins UEFA Champions League or La Liga or both of them, maybe the future president give him the confidence.
Ben je nou heel erg blij of ben je daarnaast ook nog wel een beetje verdrietig voor Oranje?
Ja, hij was natuurlijk een ideale coach, dat is ook gebleken. Hij heeft het supergoed gedaan. Mede dankzij dat er toch weer een aantal talenten opstaan en we een goed team hebben. Goed gepresteerd, heel goed zelfs. Dus in dat opzicht is het wel jammer.
So, who do you expect to leave then this summer, this window?
You're looking at that spine of the team, which Piqué hinted about. He said, he could go. So when you look at those guys, you're looking at Piqué, Alba, Busquets, Vidal, Rakitic, Suarez, as these guys that are all 32, 33 now on massive wages.
Yeah. So let's see what happens with Jordi Alba, with Ivan Rakitic, with Arturo Vidal, with Martin Braithwaite, with Luis Suarez. Luis Suarez is an option in the Netherlands, in Ajax.
Let's talk about him. What do you think about that?
I think he would like to stay in Barcelona because of the league, because of the club, because of the city and how he is with his family. But if Ronald Koeman arrives after his presentation and the very day after, or when they come back from vacation, well, I hope this year you have to call players, although they're in their vacation, in their holidays, and say, okay, Luis, I am sorry, you're an enormous player, but I don't count on you. I want Leo Messi with, let's say, Antoine Griezmann and Ansu Fati, because it's the future and I have confidence. If you want to stay in the bench, it's okay. If you want to play, let's listen for offers.
So I think it's up to Suarez, really. I think the club would be willing to move him on. It would have to be on him, though. He's obviously got 1 year left on his deal. If he plays a certain amount of games, it gets automatically renewed. But these are conversations that are going to be happening now. I mean, Koeman, I guess, will have his say. Does he want Suarez to stay? Would he rather start from scratch without Suarez? What does Suarez think? I mean,
and reports are saying he would like to bring another player to Barcelona, Donny van der Beek. I think the whole world knows his name by now. Do you think that could happen?
Yeah, I mean, when we talk about Suarez and we talk about going to Ajax, I guess we look at players maybe as like a swap deal. I mean, I don't know what Suarez's value is now at 33, but maybe you look at, like you say, Van der Beek and Serginho Dest as another player who's been linked with Barca. You look at these guys who maybe Koeman or Barca would like long term, and maybe they can do some sort of swap. It's tricky to work that one out because of the scaling at their different ends of their careers.
Well, it's kind of the first thing you think of when you hear a name like Luis Suarez. It's a good possibility for Ajax to make it happen, isn't it?
Yeah. I mean, I think Suarez back at Ajax would be absolutely great. It's one of those stories that is a bit more romantic than, Suarez heads off to Qatar or to China.
Als Ajax ziet, vind ik het jammer dat Donny gaat, maar je weet dat hij op een gegeven moment gaat.
Dus dan maar naar Barcelona.
Ja, precies.
Ja.
En dat is voor ons als fanclub natuurlijk ook fijn. Het hoeft geen Nederlands contingent te worden, zoals destijds bij Van Gaal, maar 1 of 2 Nederlandse spelers daar is altijd fijn.
What do you think about Frenkie de Jong's performance till now, and what do you expect from him in the future?
He's had to play a lot of different, I mean, always as a midfielder, but a lot of different roles in that midfield, and rarely has any of those roles been his best position. So I think Koeman will be good for him. I mean, I think the consensus is that he's best in that Busquets role. I guess people in Holland will agree.
Absolutely.
And I think that's where we're going to see him long term for Barca, where we should see him. I think he's going to take definitely. I mean, even with or without Koeman, this is a signing that was made for the next decade for Barcelona.